Within a bleak and dismal swamp, hidden beneath its murky waters, lies the headquarters of the most sinister villains of all time.
The Chase and Shep Show with Shep and Chase.
It's Friday Night Reviews. I forgot.
Friday Night Reviews on the Chase and Shep Show.
The Chase and Shep Show.
How's it going, everybody? We haven't seen you since whatever the fuck Wednesday. And you haven't. I've been watching YouTube videos lately. So guys, guess what? If you haven't, hit that subscribe button right now for me. Why don't you go ahead and do that? Look at that. Look at this.
Look at you.
Look at this. Look at me.
You're on it. You're on it.
Like up. Hit that thumb. Make that thumb blue for me. How about that?
Hey, whoever all you new likes on Facebook are, welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. Thanks.
We've been waiting for this Friday night for quite some time.
No shit. Quite some time. I'm hyped. I'm rehashing a shirt from a previous episode.
June 2019, to be exact, was the last Marvel release.
Yeah.
So we've been waiting quite some time for some new content. We finally got it within WandaVision.
We finally got it. And
finally got it. Sweet. They gave us 2 episodes as well. So they was like,
right.
Here you go.
And the thing is, they gave us 2 episodes and it's still more anticipation. There's still more anticipation to come.
Honestly, because I was reading earlier, somebody pointed out like most of what they've shown from trailers seems to be in these episodes we are already watching.
Yeah, and I've been hearing that the whole back half of this series is like an Avengers level event. And so I just, it's going to get crazy. You just know it is. But so obviously today we are talking about those first 2 episodes of WandaVision.
2 episodes.
I'm not going to put words in your mouth. I think it's safe to say I liked it. I liked it a lot. So I don't know if I can necessarily drop a score per episode. So it might be safe to say that we're going to throw up that spoilers up front.
No, definitely throw the spoilers up because we're going to dive into it and probably get into where we think this is going to go.
Yeah, I think today we're just going to kind of to discuss these 2 episodes and then really deep dive, really get into this.
Yeah, because I kind of went back and forth. I kind of went from being like, I don't know if I like this, to being like, all right, maybe I get what they're doing. I like it. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna try to rewatch them before we did this, and I still plan on rewatching them after this, just because with the time that's passed since I watched them, like at 6 o'clock in the morning on Friday, like as soon as I got up out of bed, I kind of felt the same way there for a minute, where I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, but I knew the reason I was unsure about how I felt about it was because of the sitcom thing. It was because they were so all in on the sitcom thing. So it's like, to its credit, it's doing what it's said that they do, and so it's just like, that's just a preference thing, that's, you can't deny that the motherfucker's unique as far as
and then that's like, so where the first episode ended,
right,
and it was like somebody was viewing her on a television screen, like trying, and that's at the point where I was like, okay, I can get behind the whole sitcom thing and what's going down, because she is, people are viewing her, and obviously they haven't given you who that is yet, but fuck it.
Well, I know in that last scene they showed like the sword logo and stuff.
Yeah.
And so right now people are wondering, like, is Sword there to help? Are they, there to a part of this somehow? But I've seen a lot of cool stuff come out. So things that I like, the line in the first episode when she's moving the plates around in the kitchen and the plate crashes into his head. The internet did not miss a beat on this one, but I didn't realize it till I saw it on the internet when she does that. And she's like, my husband with his indestructible head went over my head at first, like completely just like, but then the internet was very quick to point out that Thanos didn't think it was that indestructible. And I was like,
yeah,
damn, okay, that's dark as fuck. And the thing is, that's what you forget. I was talking to Mage about WandaVision today, and he caught those first 2 episodes too, and he's like, it's unsettling. And I'm like, it is though. Like when you get past the bubblegum like sitcom stuff, there's some dark shit bubbling under the surface of this show. And it's just gonna get dark, bro. Like you can tell, like it's just peppered in.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I'm pretty sure everybody viewing has watched these episodes. I don't think we have to give like a play-by-play breakdown on these episodes per
Right,
se.
right.
But like you definitely do. Like the one thing that I forgot, like I'm going in here viewing this and it's like, yeah, and then it's like, oh, wait a second, that's right. She got snapped. So this
Mhm,
is like right coming back from being unsnapped. You're fighting
mhm,
Thanos again with all the fucking Avengers. You're like,
mhm.
holy shit. And then this is where we go to. And it's like, okay, so if you look at it that way, it's like her going back home with Vision
Mhm.
to start their life because they didn't really get that opportunity. They didn't get that chance to.
Yeah.
Um, it's like, all right, I fucks with that. I've got some ideas and stuff when we get into like where we think what's going on and all that good shit like that. I
Mhm.
haven't really read into any spoilers at all, or like I've read a couple people's opinions, but not too many
Yeah.
myself.
Today I started looking into some Easter eggs, and that's a big thing I want to touch on.
Well,
But
there's a lot of stuff they put within these episodes that if you're not
well,
paying attention.
so this is what I was going to say about it. When Marvel first started doing this in 2008 with Iron Man, I would say everything up until Ultron, everything up until maybe Age of Ultron, part of the fun and allure of these movies for me was the Easter eggs and that like detective work of like as a fan, what are they trying to tell us is coming next? Like, when there's a blip on the screen that says Doctor Strange's name and you're like, oh shit, they're gonna do Doctor Strange at some point. Like all those little drop, like that is the stuff I lived for. And after every single movie, I would always hit the internet and find that list. Like there'd always be somebody who had you, and it's like, here's the breakdown of all the Easter eggs in the movie. And that's not to
Right.
say later movies didn't have the Easter eggs. They did, but they were serving a different purpose. Then it was just Easter eggs just for fun rather than hints. But I felt like I lost something when they stopped doing that, because then it was like, okay, we don't have to do this anymore because it's clear where we're going. And that's not to say they didn't still have their twists and mysteries and shit like that, but like part of that fun was lost for me when there wasn't those like clues as to like, where is this going? And I feel like WandaVision is bringing that back. I
Oh
feel
yeah.
like I feel like now that we're back at square one, Infinity Saga is wrapped up. This is the beginning of book 2, a whole brand new story, and I feel like we're about to see a lot of that shit happen. And I'm
No,
here for it.
they got a lot of little things hidden in there. Like I noticed in the second episode,
Hmm.
when they're doing the magic show and Vision's doing his thing, he puts that hat through him. He says, "I'm an illusion" or something like that, and it's
Uh-huh.
like, come on, like he is, and in real time, like the motherfucker's
Right.
dead.
Yeah.
So yeah, he is an illusion. So it's like it's just weird, and like that episode right there is like what got me starting to think about like, wait a second, because that was a very weird episode.
The second one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
think.
definitely I definitely enjoyed the second episode more than the first. And I feel like
Yeah.
that's gonna keep happening as the decades catch up, as
Oh
as
yeah.
we go farther through the decades, because I think that's just, I wouldn't have gotten into I Love Lucy, but I have watched Bewitched and I did enjoy Bewitched. So it definitely feels like that natural progression of just
Right.
taste.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I definitely agree. I just started catching a lot more weird shit within the
Hmm.
second episode. Obviously, it's there for the cause, but that's
Right.
that's what got me to start speculating a lot more on where they trying to go with this, because there's still a lot that we don't know about the show.
Hmm.
A
Oh
lot
yeah,
of
there's
weird
a
shit.
lot.
A lot of weird shit you don't catch, like you wouldn't catch in the second episode unless I saw it pointed out on the internet that like there's a shot at the beginning of the episode where her friend, the Agnes lady, comes up
Hmm.
and you can see down the street and there's no sewer. But at the end of the episode, when the person in the beekeeper's costume comes out, there's a
Uh-huh.
sewer.
Yeah.
So it shows things are changing around and shit like
Hmm.
that in the background and whatnot. So it really,
One thing that I'm also curious about, that I almost forgot about this, that little chant they're all doing in the second episode, like for the
for
children.
the children.
But
That's yeah.
there's no children, and I'm like, I didn't even think about there being no children in this place when they kept saying that. And so I'm curious what's going to happen with all that.
Well, and then she gets pregnant at the end of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
She's pregnant, and they kept saying for the children.
Yeah.
That's what got my speculation wheels started turning.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely a big thing. Somebody on again, thanks internet for always being on top of your Marvel shit. In both episodes, there's the commercials that come in like halfway through, and I guess there will be proof of this as we go on. But so far, the thinking is that all of these commercials are the worst memories from Wanda's life.
Right. Yeah.
And I can see that. Something we have talked about before multiple times, I feel like at this point, regarding like the House of M storyline and everything. I saw a whole article today on exactly what we were talking about the Magneto thing. And it even says within the comics, they also believed, Wanda and her brother, they believed that their parents were somebody else until Magneto later was like, nah, I'm your daddy, And so there's still room for that to happen. And so this whole article was basically like, Sword isn't going to save Wanda, Magneto is. And it's like, listen, honestly, I can't get hyped for that because Mage said some shit to me this morning that had me so hyped that I was like, bro, don't do that to me. Don't
I think
give
it's
me
going to be Doctor Strange that saves the day.
Oh, well, yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, he is reported to be in this, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, like, and that totally makes sense. Like, see, and that's another thing that's dope is like, it's easy to forget right now just because of the way the show is set up that like we're gonna see some big things happen over the course of the next 7 episodes. Like, we're gonna see some big names, some big actors, some big surprises. Like, we have not even fucking broke the surface on the show yet.
Yeah. No, I don't think Sword's there for malice.
No.
I do think the beekeeper person was a Sword agent, though.
Well, somebody said something about it maybe being an AIM agent, because that's something like in the comics, like AIM had this kind of like beekeeper-esque suit. But my thing is, like, it had the Sword logo. So
yeah, no, I think it was a Sword agent, and that's
curious.
just how Wanda framed it in reality. And that's why she's like, nope, hold up, wait, back up. You ain't coming.
Right.
Like, this ain't happening.
Out of here. Yeah.
I actually, there was a line within the second episode, because I kept thinking, I was like, man, I wonder who the fucking villain's going to be in this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a line in the second episode that stuck out to me that the lady, one of the ladies was talking or something, and she was like, the devil's in the detail. And then the other lady got real, like, she goes, the devil's closer than you think, Bev. And that's what started making me think, all right, Mephisto.
Mephisto's been the fucking talk of the town. And I think that's definitely where they're going with it.
Right when they said that, I was like, all right, well, that's Marvel's little fucking Satan. So like that. And what's his name? The kid that played in the Fox universe, Quicksilver.
Mm-hmm.
He's been casted in the show and he hasn't been seen yet.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure he's been casted in the show and he hasn't been shown yet.
I hadn't heard about that. Interesting.
So he would be interesting to pop up as I could see his character playing
interesting.
A Satan. I could see it, man. I could see that one. That's where I kind of think they're going with it because
Maybe.
I
definitely think they're going with Mephisto for sure.
Oh yeah. In the comic books, he broke off his souls to have 2 kids with her, and I think I could see that being what's going down.
And it would definitely be cool if they drop Magneto in some way in this show, just to be like X-Men, motherfucker.
I'd love it, but I don't know, man.
See, now this is what Mage and I were talking about today, and I don't think it's going to happen, but we couldn't help ourselves. Like, the idea was in our heads, and we're like, how fucking crazy would it be if we get to the end of WandaVision and this shit happens? But we were looking at some of the comics that this was inspired by today. We were looking up Avengers Disassembled, which takes place right. Fuck, we literally spent all day, like this whole conversation, trying to figure out which came first, House of M or Avengers Disassembled. I believe Disassembled came before House of M, and then House of M took place, or it was the other way around. Either way, we're reading this shit, and essentially, Doctor Doom played a very big part in all this, and with especially how it all ended and stuff. I was like, Mage, what you're saying is perfectly reasonable, and I could totally see where they could bring Doctor Doom in right now. But at the same time, I just don't know. I just don't see them dropping Doom that fast. Like, especially if Doom is supposed to be the big bad moving forward. I see them building him out like they did Thanos, like teasing him as they go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Most definitely.
They would
Most
flesh
definitely.
him out for sure.
I could see them maybe teasing him at the end, at some point in WandaVision, like maybe first dropping, like Thanos, those first like seeds of the villainy to come. Somebody also pointed out in the animated like opening credits of the second episode, if you look, there's some Easter eggs within there, and there's a scene like when Vision's like at his place of work, and like on the like shelves or whatever, there's a helmet for. I thought it looked like Galactus, but I guess I'd have to look. Maybe there is a difference between these helmets. But people said that's the helmet of this character called Grim Reaper. Are you familiar with him?
Yeah.
So some people believe that he's gonna be in the show in some way, and that's kind of what I'm talking about in that sense of like those Easter eggs of being like, look what it may or may not happen and shit like that. And I like that stuff. I like that detective work of like,
Oh yeah.
maybe we're wrong, but like this is fun, like to see these little clues they leave behind for us to figure it out.
No, I definitely think the Agnes character is playing for the villain.
I definitely think she's most definitely Agatha Harkness.
Yeah.
That's clear. Because that like she had a son in the comics whose name was Scratch,
Yeah.
and that's what her rabbit's name was.
Ah. Well, like, yeah, there's she did a lot of weird shit, but she's always there.
Hmm.
But they said they like I was reading a little bit about it beforehand. Um, what little bit I read into it, people were pointing out that like the shit that she was doing in the first episode is like she's like, let's put a bun in that oven, or let's get that oven hot, and stuff like that. Like
Mm,
she was trying to, get her to seduce Vision and stuff like that, like have a night
yeah,
together, stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And then she
yeah.
brought a pineapple over, which is something that helps men and shit like that. So
Hmm.
it's like if you really look, they do lay the groundwork that she is
That makes sense
definitely,
because she's a witch and shit too, and that's
yeah.
definitely like I've watched enough movies about witches and like Rosemary's Baby type shit that it's like I definitely see where this is going. I could totally see where this all plays with the Mephisto thing, and yeah, I think all that's reasonable. I think Doctor Doom and Magneto are just high on the wish list, but those
Yeah,
things are definites. I feel like
I think Mephisto's gonna be one of the characters that he's behind it all, but not, beat by the end of it, because obviously this one does
right.
carry over into Doctor
Yeah, I was
Strange.
gonna say I think he's definitely gonna play a bigger part in that Doctor Strange 2
Yeah, yeah, most
stuff. Yeah.
definitely. Which I'm really hyped for. And like I said, I'll be really hyped to see Doctor Strange in this, because I think he will be the first person that breaks through to Wanda in the
Hmm.
show and is like,
Yeah.
"Yo, what up?" Like it's strange.
I'm definitely like I'm having fun with it right now because I
Mhm.
realize this is definitely for Friday night review. We're just breaking this down, but to truly review it, I think where it is right now, I enjoyed episode 2 more than episode 1 for sure, and I feel like that's what it's going to keep being. I feel like I'm going to enjoy every single episode more than the last
Oh
as
yeah.
we keep going.
Oh yeah.
And while I'm having fun with it right now and the sitcom angle is cool, I'm really looking forward to the back half of this show.
Well, it'd be what, the last 3 episodes, right? Because they said it's the
They said
first
like
6
3 or
were
4.
sitcom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cuz it's 9 episodes. So yeah,
Right.
it could be 3. Yeah.
I'm
Makes
with it
sense
though,
cuz they
man.
did 50s, they did 60s, they're moving into the 70s for the next episode, and then you have your 80s, 90s, and I hear that they're doing 2000 sitcoms as well.
Yeah.
So that makes sense that they do the first 6 episodes, and then those last 3 are just fucking craziness of the highest degree. And I'm so here for it. I even
Oh,
bought
yeah.
some new WandaVision swag, so that's on its way. I had to upgrade. Age of Ultron. I'm rocking this 2015 shit here. I had to upgrade.
Yeah, I'm ready to see her snap the multiverse, man. That's pretty much where I
I'm ready
think
for
they're gonna go.
I'm ready for that multiverse to pop off.
Like I said, I think I agree. The same. First episode is kind of dry. Kind of starts off weird.
Mhm.
Kind of shows that Vision only does things when she tells him to. Two, when the guy's choking, he's all choking big time, and the dude's like dying pretty much. And then,
Right.
old Kitty from that '70s show was finally like kept saying, "Stop it, stop it."
Yeah.
And then she's
That
finally like,
weird
Vision,
glitch in the Matrix that happened. Yeah.
yeah, Vision,
They
just
just
stop it. And then he just reaches in and takes it out. Like,
yeah.
I do like how Gum gets him drunk though.
I thought that was hilarious, honestly. I did. I really enjoyed that second episode a lot. There was a few things we didn't get into regarding kind of two of the same things. In episode 2, there are 2 moments where there's a little bit of color in the black and white.
Oh yeah,
I thought both of those moments. Well, the second one, I'll start with that one. Like when the chick gets her hand cut, I was like, "Oh shit!" Like that was just cool stylistically. I just thought that was a cool style choice. But so that first one, again, thanks internet, they pointed out in the trailers and stuff, there's always this shot of a helicopter that looks exactly the same, like flying into like the bubble that
hmm
would be like that reality. And I think this makes perfect sense because that's exactly when uh, Monica Rambeau shows up.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so she was probably the helicopter pilot and flew in, and now she's in the reality, and the actual helicopter just turned into a little toy. Like, totally makes sense to me. And so I'm definitely curious. I actually just rewatched Captain Marvel like a couple hours ago to decompress. That was my decompression time. And I was like, you know what? After I watched that second episode, I'm like, you know what? I'd like to go back and watch Captain Marvel and see young Monica Rambeau to kind of get a feel for what might come later. And honestly, from watching that today, I definitely see where Monica might be at today in the current storyline, just because she was so inspired by her mom and Carol Danvers, and like you could tell she was definitely going to like step up and be a part of this the rest of her life. So I'm definitely looking forward to her storyline a little more as well.
Right.
That should be
That's
pretty cool.
that is dope, man. Yeah, no, a lot of great. And it's Friday, so that means we got a new episode to watch tonight.
That's right. That's right.
The '70s episode, groovy, man.
Yeah, I'm stoked for it.
Yeah,
I'm
so
stoked.
we'll
I
do,
especially now that she's pregnant.
I'm sure those kids will come fast because she blew up pretty fast. So.
Mhm. I am avoiding doing what I want to do because most like press people and stuff, like reviewers and stuff, not us for some reason. They got stuff from Disney Plus with the first 3 episodes. They got like a screener with the first 3 episodes. So all these people have reviewed like the first 3 episodes, and I'm like, I really want to fucking like hear what people have to say about the third episode. I'm sure there are no spoiler videos up right now, just because it's probably part of the agreement, like in
Right.
getting the screeners. Because I've seen a few of them, like now that the episodes are out, go back and post spoiler videos. Um, but I know those reviews are out there, and I just kind of like, it's like, tell me a little something about episode 3. But I'm
No,
gonna
don't
wait.
do it.
I'm gonna
Don't
wait.
do it.
I just, oh man, I'd waited a year and a half for this shit, just like everybody else. And I sat down that morning, I blazed through those 2 episodes, and I was like, you got to be shitting me. Like, I had no problem waiting week to week for Mandalorian. That was one thing, but this, I was like, mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm.
Just
I
drop
don't
every episode now.
I don't care how
You would have
dope
watched
this
the
is. Like
whole thing.
this buildup is insane. Like it's
If they would have dropped the whole season last Friday, you would have watched the whole thing that
I
day.
definitely would have. I would have canceled everything. I wouldn't have shown up to shit. I would have been like, I have something to do for the next, fucking 9 episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would only been 4.5 hours.
Oh
That's
yeah.
not actually. It's
Oh
not
yeah. I
that bad.
could have. Yeah, that's not bad at all. I would have watched it a few times that day.
That's a Snyder cut. That ain't bad.
Yeah, that's just a. You watch it in a
That's a
Snyder cut.
that's a Snyder cut. We'll take it.
Fuck it, man. I'm here for it.
I'll like to do that though. That's one thing I'll like to do when this is all said and done, is to go back and just watch it all one go.
Well, I'm even going back right now and just kind of. I'm not trying to do like a hardcore start to finish marathon on the Infinity Saga, because like I've done that. I haven't done that since it's ended, so it'd be nice to do it one more time and just call it good on the Infinity Saga. Like go back and watch it at my leisure. But at some point, I think I will do my full watch through at least once more before retiring it. But other than that, I mean, right now I've just been kind of watching them as I feel like it. Over the past few months, I've just kind of been like picking and choosing, because it's like, fuck, I've watched these movies so many times now. And like I said, I was already getting ready to watch these 2 WandaVision episodes. I'm sure this is going to happen every week, where I watch the episodes more than once, and then when this is all said and done, I'll go back and watch the whole thing, and it's just like, yeah, I'll have this bitch watched 3 times by the time all is said and done. That's just how I am.
Yeah.
I saw fucking Endgame 4 times in theaters, saw Far From Home 3 times. I just love my Marvel, man. Gotta represent. Gotta
Don't
represent.
hate on them. Don't hate on them. Let them
Can't
love it.
can't do it. But yeah, I mean, that's all I got, because we got to save some for Super Saturday, because I know we got to talk some more WandaVision. We've been
Yeah.
holding back, so now we have Marvel to talk about. So we got to get
Yeah.
into it.
Let's do it.
But that's going to be it for Friday Night Reviews.
Yeah, definitely check it out if you haven't yet, guys. It's dope.
Yeah, we gave you a week, so
Gave you a week.
You should have seen it by now.
Yeah.
And hopefully by the time you're watching this, you've already watched that 3rd episode.
Yeah.
So,
you can be like, they were wrong, or they're right.
Yeah. And we'll talk about it next week.
We got you.
That's
We got you. Smooches. Peace.